What's good, y'all? It's Yasmin Rains. Welcome to my channel. It's been quite a long time, but I'm so glad to be back. And today I will be showing y'all how to go from Poussey Washington to Diana Ross in a quick little second. So if you want to transform on them like that, then keep watching. So let's get right into it. First, I will be showing you all everything you need to achieve this look. You will need your extensions, and I'm using 2 bundles of 16 and 18 inches from Mercy's Hair, or for a cheaper option, you can use the Big Beautiful Hair in the purple pack. You will be needing a mannequin head, needle and thread, I use nylon, just a few bobby pins, oil to moisturize your scalp. This one came with an applicator top, Eco Styler Gel or your styling gel of choice, a Sharpie, a comb. This is optional, but you can install some wig clips. And lastly, a black spandex dome cap. So first you want to stretch out your dome cap just a little before you put it on your head, and be sure that you're putting it on from front to back. Shift the dome cap back just a little so you can part out the section that you will be leaving out. This is what will cover up the front of your tracks. You want to make sure you leave out enough hair, but not too much. So then you twist it up once you're satisfied. Hey, pull the dome cap back down and use your Sharpie to mark where your leave out is so you can know where to stop sewing. To the floor we go. So first you want to put your dome cap on your mannequin head the same way that it was on yours, and make sure you pull down the sides as much as possible. So now we'll start the sewing process. The first thing you want to do is make sure your first track aligns along the bottom of the cap. Now everyone sews differently, but personally, I take my needle and thread and I sew through the weft only at the beginning of the track, when I'm folding the track, or at the end of the track, and I do this to make sure it is secure. Also, for extra security, I pull the needle through the loop to make a little knot. So here's a closer look at how I sew. One very important thing you want to make sure you're doing when you're sewing around the edges is you want to make sure you sew through the black cap and not the elastic band that's beneath it. Once you get the dome cap, you'll be able to tell which part is the cap and which part is the band. And when I get to the end of the thread, I just push it through the weft one more time, and I wrap the thread around the needle 2 or 3 times to knot it, and then I pull it through. Once you finish, it should look a little bit like this. As you can see, I did my stitches pretty close together so it could be as secure and flat as possible. The next few tracks that I lay are going to lay in this direction. It's an upward C shape going from side to side. Here I'm just showing you how I'm laying my second track and how much space I'm putting in between each track. I only have 2 bundles, and you only need 2 bundles, but you have to be sure you space it out enough so you can have enough tracks to cover your entire cap. Once you get to this point where you have sewn in a C shape to the outer corners of where your leave out is marked, you have to use a smaller C shape to fill in the center of the unit. So here's the unit after I finished sewing, and as you can see on both sides, it's very seamless because I laid my tracks in that upward C motion. Here's how I laid the middle of the unit. I didn't really show that on camera while I was sewing, but here it is. It's pretty much just a smaller C. So after you take your wig off of your mannequin, this is what the inside of it should look like. And as you can see, it's very full. I'm very glad because that 2 bundles had to stretch, honey. So here I am putting it on from front to back, of course. You know, you got to play with it a little just to get it to how you want it. And it can't be flipped from either side. Yes, slay. And this is where I'm going to be cutting it at. I'm going to cut right outside of that curve right there because that's where my leave out is going to be. Be sure you're very careful not to cut that thread. So this portion is optional. This is where I'm going to sew on the wig clips. You can sew it down to your head directly like this, but if you want it to be removable, you do need to put some wig clips on it. I'm just using 3 on both sides and in the back. This is just a regular wig clip with, I think there's 6 holes on it. When you place the clip on the unit to sew, be sure the combs are facing you. You don't want the combs to be facing the inside of the unit because then they won't be able to clip into your hair. So I'm just taking this same needle and thread and I'm sewing through every hole. So you want to be sure not to just sew through the top holes, sew through all 6 of them, or at least 4 if you can. I'm also using the same stitch that I used to lay my tracks. I'm tying my knots the same way. I'm starting off my thread the same way. There's nothing really different. It's honestly very, very simple. So once you finish putting your clips on, it should look a little something like this. And before you put it on your head, be sure to open the clips. I forgot to include this at the beginning of the video, but you do need a wig cap for extra protection and to make sure it lays as flat as possible. So once again, slap that unit on from front to back and adjust. Now you want to take a rat tail comb and pull out your leave out. Now I'm just making sure I left enough hair out to cover up the tracks. Ladies, that is key. When I tell you that is key, y'all know it's key. For styling, I take a little bit of my Eco Styler gel, just about that much, and I put it on a small section all over. Actually, I think I put it all over. Okay, well then I put it all over. All right. So then I take a small piece of hair from the front of the unit and I split it in half. So once I split it in half, I take a small section. Now I'm taking that small section of my hair and I twist it into that piece of the unit. Here's a slower, closer, better view of what I just did. So you see how small that piece of hair is? Just take that and split it in half, literally. Split your own piece of hair in half and twist it into the hair. That's all you're doing. This is my way of blending my short hair because you really can't blend it any other way. So this is the easiest way I found to do. And now you just keep doing that in small sections until you've twisted all of your hair and until you're satisfied with how it blends. So now that I'm done with that, it's time for me to give a little shape to this fro. So I'm just taking piece by piece and cutting at an angle, of course. Cutting at an angle, whatever I want gone. Nothing too major. I'm not, doing nothing crazy. And I noticed that this was kind of showing on the side, so I did as best as I could to cover it up. I had to kind of rig that up a little. Sorry, guys. And that's pretty much all that I do. So this is the first way I wear my hair. Like that. Boom. And here I am going into my second style. And as you can see, it was kind of chap at first. But we're going to get it together. We're getting it together, honey. This about completes my second style as well as my video. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank y'all so much for the support. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, give me feedback. I love y'all all that.